Strength training, lesson one. All right, let's get down to building some muscle. Strength training is the best way to build muscle. A lot of women are usually afraid of strength training because they think lifting weights will get them bulky, when the truth is the only thing that makes you bulky is eating, okay? Can't gain weight if you don't eat. Working out burns calories, it doesn't add calories. So the harder you train, the more calories you burn. And I will give you an example. So I'll simplify it for those of you who are like, oh, I'm not sure about this. The reason that people think weights make you bigger is because most of the people that you see lifting heavy weights are big people. But we don't get big from lifting weights. We get big from eating and lifting weights. And how much we eat and what we eat dictates how big you get. When I was competing, my off season, when I was trying to put on size, and then my pre-contest, when I was trying to take fat off of me, the training never changed. I lifted heavy regardless. But what did change was my caloric intake, okay? And how many carbs I was eating. When I was trying to grow, I would eat 3-4 carb meals a day with my protein and vegetables. When I was trying to lean out, I ate 1 carb meal a day. So I would put weight on in the off season, and then I would take off 30 pounds every pre-contest in 12 weeks. So you don't get big because you lift weights. You get big because you eat more carbs and more food and more calories while you're lifting weight. Matter of fact, you can get big without lifting weight. We see that all the time, okay? So lifting weights burns calories. And I will give you another analogy, just in case that one wasn't good enough for you. Imagine you have 2 cars, a Volkswagen Bug and an Escalade. Neither one of them have gas. You have to push each of those to a gas station a mile away. Which one is gonna burn more calories, pushing the Escalade or pushing the VW Bug? See my point? You're going to be exhausted and drained from pushing that Escalade, way more than you will be from pushing the Volkswagen Bug. So keep that in mind. You cannot grow simply because you're lifting weights. You only grow because of the way you're eating while you lift weights. Strength is so important for life, so important for life. Without strength, you can't walk upstairs, you can't carry groceries, you can't do laundry, you can't do yard work, you can't do anything. The weaker you get, the less you can physically do. So you have to keep your strength in order to live life. Also, the stronger you are, the easier your life gets because you're strong. A strong person can pretty much do anything they want. A weak person pretty much can't do anything. So you need to keep your strength. And something else about strength training, it stimulates muscle. And the more muscle you stimulate, the leaner and lighter you get and smaller you get, depending on your diet, obviously. And also it speeds up your metabolism, so you burn calories more efficiently even when you sleep. So strength training is the only way to go when it comes to overall fitness, feeling amazing, looking amazing, and lasting a long time. I'm talking about into your 70s, 80s, and 90s. I have a friend that she plays pickleball. She's a client. She does pickleball. She does softball. She's 63 years old. And she has people over 85, over 80 playing softball and pickleball. So you can imagine the shape those people are in. And they could not do that if they were not strong. So strength training is very essential to everything we're doing here. Now we're going to talk about something that most people are a little confused about. Reps and sets. A set is basically how many times you do a group of reps. So if I'm doing push-ups and I do 10 push-ups, those are 10 reps, 1 set. If I do it again, that's 10 reps, 2 sets. And if I do it again, that's 10 reps, 3 sets. So I did a total of 3 sets, 10 reps each. I got a total of 30 reps, okay? When you want to do endurance training, muscular endurance training, which means like long distance running or anything that you have to be athletic or run or for a length of time, 2 hours of running, an hour, a day of running. I used to train ultra marathon guys that would run for 100 miles, okay? That would take a day or a little over a day to do, okay? So the sets and reps that you do are more when you do endurance training, more from the 20 to 30 to 40, 50, 60 range, okay? For bodybuilding, body shaping, what most of us are doing, just trying to change our bodies to look a little better, we're more for 10 to 20, that's the reps. And then when you're powerlifting and you're just going for strength, you stay below 10. And that's just an average. That's not detailed out, okay? But that's an average, especially for somebody who's a beginner or an intermediate that's just starting to get their body stronger and trying to get more into this workout thing, this thing we call fitness. So that's how your reps and your sets go. So you want to make sure that your reps for powerlifting, for strength training, is below 10. Body shaping, body building, body physique, shaping and making your body look pretty, that's between 10 and 20. And then for muscular endurance, where you can last a long time, that's 20 and up. Now, we'll talk about this a little later, but we combine them all as well. For women, it's excellent. It's called proprioceptive training, and women do best with that. If you read anywhere about proprioceptive training, the National Academy of Sports Medicine, which is who I am certified through, highly recommends proprioceptive training with female clients. So that's exactly what we'll be doing. Now we're going to get to rest, breathing and rest between sets. Most people ask me, well, how do I breathe? How do I breathe? Trust me, you're going to breathe. You're going to breathe. Don't really freak out about it. It's not like, it's the end of the world if you're not breathing exactly perfect. But as time goes on, you'll learn more and more about how to breathe. And you basically, when I lift, whenever I'm pushing the weight, pushing it, that's called a concentric move. Whenever I'm pushing it, that's called a positive. Let's say I'm doing push-ups and I'm up in the high position. When I go down, that's a negative. That's an eccentric. When I push up, that's a concentric, or called a positive. So when I'm pushing up, I usually will hold my breath, especially if I'm tired. Initially, I won't even think about it. But as I start to get fatigued, I'll start noticing, wow, I'm running out of breath. Then I'll stay at the top of the motion, take a deep breath, go down, get a push-up, get back, stop, and breathe. Once I got oxygen back in, go down, get another one, up, stop, and breathe. I hold my breath when I'm pushing up as I get tired, because if you try to exhale while you're pushing up and you run out of exhale before you get to the top, you can't inhale again. Okay? It's not like you can inhale when you're pushing weight off of you, especially when you're doing bench press, something like that. You might get away with it with push-ups, but you're not going to get away with it when you're doing bench press and you're getting tired and fatigued. And the reason you get tired and fatigued is because oxygen is being depleted from the muscle. So the more oxygen you put back in the muscle, you'll be able to do another rep. So remember that. That's why rest between sets is great, because you want to rest, breathe, but you don't want to breathe to the point where you're just sitting there and you're fine. You just want to make sure that your heart rate comes down just a little bit, and then you get right back on it. Okay. When you power lift, you actually wait till you're completely rested, because your goal is to get stronger. And you can't get stronger if you're taking short rest periods and doing high volume training. When your reps are 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, that's not powerlifting. Everything below 10 is more considered powerlifting.